Hey guys, welcome back to the Garod restoration project. Something a little bit different this time. We're going to take a look at the record player. Just went out to the garage and pulled it out of the cabinet. It's filthy. I did a little test cleaning in this corner just now. But the rest of it has that same type of white fuzzy powder stuff like the TV chassis had. But underneath it looks pretty good. We'll do a lot more cleaning shortly. Underneath, we have a label. It is a Webster model 256-2. It is a dual 78 and 33 RPM phonograph. A little bit of corrosion on the springs. Wiring is all very crusty. The motor looks really ancient. Well, I'm sure it's as old as the TV. Now that is curious. Looks like somebody might have spliced in new power cord and electrical tape here. But that's kind of a modernish looking connector. I mean, 70s maybe, or newer. But I was under the impression this thing hadn't worked in a long time. Certainly no other signs of recent repairs, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone was fooling around. Maybe they were just playing records on this thing and nothing else. You know, and the TV conked out because the audio amp is separate, so I believe you could play just a phonograph with TV and radio turned off because the audio amp has its own power supply and it's separate and this plugs, I think, directly into it. At any rate, phonographs are not my thing. But I have a friend who volunteered to help get this running and he's going to come by tomorrow. So I wanted to check it out, clean it up a bit before he got here, and if nothing else, check the motor. But before we can do that, I got to do a little. I think I might have actually done this, or one of us did when we were moving it. I think one of us stepped on the power cord, or maybe we set the cabinet down on it. At any rate, I remember hearing a crunch. I'm sure that's what this was. That's just as well, though, because this cord it needs to get replaced. All this wiring is super crusty. Not much to these. See, I'm not mechanically inclined. Certainly not with phonographs, but I know enough to know that the motor runs directly off the AC line, and the cartridge the signal just comes directly out of it. There are no other electronics. It's just the motor, nothing else. The rest is all purely mechanical. This is a speed switch. When you do that, it does some things. These are the idler wheels, which actually don't look all that horrible. They don't seem to have as bad a dead spot as you might. Oh wow, the motor turns real nice. So, I don't know a lot about it, but I can figure out some of this. It's obvious when you change the speed, the spindle engages either this or this, and then we have tone arm, and I believe it has some kind of dual needle mechanism underneath. I can see there's two sharp pointy bits coming out of it. What I don't know is how you flip between them. I've seen somewhere there's a lever on the side and you kind of like flip it over or something. That just doesn't seem to have that. And I know it's a record changer. I don't know if it's all here. I don't know how the changer mechanism works. I looked around a little bit online and I saw some photos and I recall it looking a little different. Like there might have been something else to it. But yeah, at any rate, I took the platter off. It's in pretty good shape. The flocking on it's all right. That would go down on here. You put the records on top of it, or you'd stack them up, and then they would play them one at a time and drop them down one at a time. But I'm not quite sure if it's all here or exactly how you set all that up. But my friend should, so when he gets here, we'll play around with that, assuming that all is well. As usual, when things are gross, I like to clean them before I start working on them. Yeah, the motor could be shot, but even if it is, even if we can't fix it, I still want to clean it up and put it back in the unit. I'm going to start out with some Windex. That's what I used on this corner. I don't think I need anything strong. It's really just like years and years of fluff. So this was down in the basement in the laundry area, so I'm thinking a lot of this might just be fluff, like from the dryer, like lint, you know, that kind of stuff. Somebody mentions asbestos. No, I really don't think that's what this is. Yeah, it just comes right off. No problem. It's got the looks like a hammer tone bronze kind of finish to it. I think after a couple rounds of cleaning, it'll get out some car wax or something like that. It's painted metal after all, just like a car. Yeah, well, there's actually his writing on it. Totally couldn't see that before. Nice. Very retro looking graphic on there. So we have off 3378. Man, that needle is sharp. Gotta be careful. Down underneath the platter, it's a little bit gummy, probably from grease or who knows what, but at any rate, Simple Green takes it right off. I just took the two idler wheels off so I could clean underneath this area. They are held in by two little cotter pins, and of course one of them went flying, but luckily I just found it. While I have this exposed, I'll also put a little bit of grease where these slide. And there's the motor shaft. It's probably, I mean, it turns extremely nicely, so I'm hoping that it will run just fine. Also got a blob of something here. I think it's wax. Yeah. So this sits underneath the TV chassis. I suspect one of the caps, well, a bunch of the caps were miserable looking. I imagine that's wax that dripped down from the capacitor up above. Boy, this thing is quite a bit more complicated than the few other phonographs I've messed around with in the past that were just 78 RPM with them, just a motor going to the platter, and that's it. This has a lot of a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure it all has to do with that changer. A lot of springs, a lot of levers and whatnot. And one of the things is this, which, so here's the 2-speed control, and when it's in the off position, it pushes down this lever, which is going to this thing, which I assume is a switch. But this lever's not doing anything. I think there is supposed to be something in between that lever and the body of this, because there are two contacts in there, but there's nothing. Looks like maybe there used to be a big ball bearing, or maybe a piece of rubber or something. Now, that being said, it seems like it's fixed in the on position as it is. One of the wires that's going into that switch, the insulation goes right into the body, so I don't seem to have an easy way to check to see if we have contact going through. I just want to know if we have continuity in the motor, is all I'm trying to get at. We do not have continuity at the end of the plug. Aha! It was just stuck up in there. I was getting ready to put a Q-tip down in there to replace the missing bit, but there we go. Now there's a little peg sticking up there. Which means it was stuck in the on position, which does not help my dilemma here, but those switch contacts could be really dirty. I guess I gotta open this up if we have to. I'll save the wiring and the motor issue until my friend gets here tomorrow. Meanwhile, I continue on with the cleaning, put these wheels back on. This one definitely has a dent in it. The rubber's pretty hardened, so I'm sure I'll need to replace both of these if I want this to work smoothly. Now, I just discovered something neat with tone arm. I'd noticed there were two pointy needles sticking down. That's what I cut myself on. And this cartridge looked to be at a kind of a crazy angle. And I was wondering, well, it looks like it's dual mode, so how do you flip between 33 and 78? I thought maybe you could just push on this or flip it somehow or something, but no, nothing seemed to be doing anything. And then I got over to this end, and I've been wondering what the heck this goofy looking thing was with the red and the white dot. Well, it turns out that that turns, and that changes the cartridge mode. So now it's down, now it's up. So front needle engaged, rear needle engaged. Kind of cool. Now I thought that, the tone arm would sit on this riser nicely, and it does not. And that's why it keeps flopping around. But that cartridge sure works with that speed selector. So, but the cartridge bumps right into that. So, what the heck is going on with that? I don't know. I don't know. I did do a brief search online for a manual. I didn't find one. My friend has a manual for a similar model, but not this exact model. Maybe it'll shed some insight on it. I don't know. Alright, here she is. I've gone back and forth tonight about how far to go with this. So I want to save something for my friend to do. But I really, really wanted to know if the motor was good or not. Because if the motor's dead, then the project's not going anywhere. A little bit of trouble getting this off in the first place because we've got this gizmo over here. Ah, there we go. Alright. So, let's see. The clip leads look alright. Here we go. Power on. We are in the off position. Let's do 33. Hey. Not a ton of torque, but the needle shouldn't have that much resistance. I think there's a chance of the 33 speed working alright. Let's try 78. Yeah, that's that's one with a dead spot. So this must have sat for years. Wow, that may have a dead spot, but this has more torque to it, more grip. So for the years this thing sat not working, it must have been left on in the 78 position, which would have pressed up against it. I think if it was in the off position, neither wheel would have pressure on it. Or maybe when you're off, the 78's engaged. I don't really know. Regardless, that's where things stand. So that's cool, although when it says 33, you're not going to want to put a modern 33 and a third RPM stereo LP on this. This would have been for mono, and I think the vinyl back then was maybe a little chunkier than what we use now. I think this is just a steel needle. I suspect this would destroy a modern stereo LP record, but I don't have any 33 RPM old school mono type LPs. I'm sure I could pick some up. Not too much trouble if I really cared to. Well, my friend's here now, and we're attempting to get this thing to actually engage the tone arm. So, what do you need to do?
For this, we need to add more friction to it on this side. Actually, clean the.
Go to the quiet side for one.
I gotta clean the.
No. I mean, what do we need to do to get the tone arm to lift up and move over?
Oh, push this button.
Oh.
Just gotta catch it so it doesn't. Yeah. So right now it's not catching the inside of the platter good. We probably need to clean it real good.
Okay. So God, it sounds horrible. Needs a little help, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Here's another test after taking the motor apart, lubing it up, replacing the motor rotted out bushings, these things. So we still have the dead spot on this speed. No! Yeah, I can kind of hear it. Wrong speed, I know. Slowly making some progress. Working on the change arm mechanism and the tone arm return right now. What's been happening is it returns prematurely and it doesn't always land back where it should. And also when you start playing, it doesn't come down necessarily where it's supposed to. What is that?
It's stuck right there, I think. I can't go forward anymore. I'm probably skipping in that spot.
Seems to be playing a little bit longer now. Oh. Spoke too soon. And it's not coming down in the right place.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you can hear this one a bit. Some very dirty records. They're very fragile, so that tends to happen.
Somebody tried to glue it.
No, I don't think so. I think they have like paper inside the way they're made. Looks like there's a black core and then paper on either side, and then it's like it's a sandwich, almost like three pieces glued together. I mean, I don't know exactly how these are made, but that's kind of how it looks to me.
Yeah. That's weird.
It's But as far as the other one got when the tone arm returned. Yep. And it's not coming down quite in the right spot. So it doesn't stop, the motor never stops turning?
I don't think they had invented that yet. So or maybe not all of them had it. Because this should have gone, like if this stopped and it knew there was no more records, this should have gone to like, by itself. And this is manual.
Right. I mean, otherwise, like if you left the room or something, the thing would just play forever.
Just keep going. Yeah, just keep going forever.
So here's how the mechanism works from scratch. Stack up your platters. You got this little hinge thing that comes down. It sits at this crazy angle. Looks weird, but I guess that's how it's supposed to go. And then what? You push the button. We're at 33 1/3, so everything's going slower now. But it's quiet because this idler wheel doesn't have a dent in it. So there you go. And it's supposed to play all the way to the middle. Tone arm move back. Next platter go down and repeat. But what's happening is it goes up prematurely. It doesn't always go back all the way. And when it comes this way, it doesn't always land in the right spot. Riveting entertainment.
Cleaned up real nice.
Yeah. And it does seem like everything's color coded. So, my friend pointed out, 78 has a white dot, 33 has a red. It's just kind of dirty, hard to see, and it has a white and a red dot over there. And that, I guess, tells you what mode you're in. So, that's white, and we're on the white. Or no, actually.
Well,
because we didn't
select.
Yeah, we're using the wrong.
Because this is it's still a 78.
Right, it's still 78.
But we're running it at 33.
Right, for demonstration purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as getting those idler wheels repaired, what you said, there's a service where you send yours in, and he'll send you ones that are already refurbished.
There's a person named Gary from Voice of Music.
Right. And what, $35?
I think it's around there each. Yeah, this one has two, one for each speed.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't go this far, because you could spend a few $100, and in the end of the day, you're just playing 78s for the most part, which play 2-3 minutes aside. Yeah, I could do like old school mono 33s, but I don't know how common those are, and I don't know how good those sound. I'm not sure what kind of needle you use with that. It'd be like shellac 33s, right?
I think that in 1948 it might have been that way then.
So you're not going to plop down your vinyl stereo album from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s and play it on this thing. That's not going to happen. Not unless you convert your cartridge and and even then probably the mass of the tone arm isn't right, or the travel. I mean, it needs a certain amount of weight for this thing to travel properly, which might be too much weight for a modern cartridge, with a vinyl record. Oh, is that hum from the motor?
A little bit, yeah.
Might also be this, because we got plugged into this Variac, which does hum a little too. We can plug it right just straight into an outlet. Let's see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, don't show how you got it plugged in right now.
Oh yeah, ran out to get a new power cord for this, and a little bit of sticker shock. Replacement lamp cord at Home Depot was $11. So, as my friend pointed out, you can get an extension cord, heavier gauge wire, longer, for $3. So that's what we got. Downside being it's thick and it's polarized. So I might need to trim off those ears on the neutral there. Nope. And there goes the next platter. And that's one of the problems. It came back and it's started in about 1/2 inch instead of being at the edge of the record. And you can actually kind of hear this one. Alright, we have the phonograph sort of kind of working. I pulled out all the chassis. We've got it wired together, so I want to hear what it actually sounds like, which will take a little bit more doing. Talk about that in a sec, but right now, got the TV back working with a test tone, and let's see, it's FM radio mode, I think. Yeah, so it's still working. I can't remember what controls. There we go, that's volume. Now, I never got AM working before, and I realized I'm an idiot, like with a few things on this project so far. This has a loop antenna that I had disconnected, so I just pulled it back out and hooked it up with alligator clips. And now, let's see. And there we go, the AM radio works.
Might be a good idea if I did. You know, we've heard that Cisco Kid and old Sheriff Dixon was good friends.
And it sounds good. And the dial is off about as much on AM as it is on FM, so maybe just the whole thing, maybe somebody cranked down too hard on the tuning control and the whole thing got shifted. So maybe we can just slide the pointer over. Alright, so that leaves phonograph mode, which is that light. Now, we do have everything plugged together, but a couple issues with the phonograph. The output has been cut off, and it goes to a goofy connector on this. So I think what we're going to do is strip back the insulation a little bit to get the center conductor and just clip it in to this point. Right there. I thought I'd hear some hum if I did that. There we go. That would be our phono input. So, let's take a little break here and get that wired up. Alright, we have it clipped in for the phonograph. Oh, is this not lit up again? No,
Yeah.
it is. No, it is. It is.
It is?
Yeah, you start to
okay.
see with the bright shop lights. So, what do you gotta do? It's off right now, right?
Let's just set it to 33 for now. Alright.
Alright, so we got power. That's good.
And then hit the...
Hey.
So this is hooked to that, and I don't know. The cartridge could be completely dead.
No, it's you can hear the scratching. Oh. Oh, that's just sound coming out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But there's nothing.
Yeah.
You should hear something. Right?
Let's go back to radio mode. Yeah. Well. Yeah, ground going to the chassis. You
Touch
got-
this, hold on. Okay.
Ooh,
Wait,
that's squeal. Is there feedback?
I don't know. Dead?
Put it in 78 mode just for that.
We could do this other, hold on.
Now we can also take a look at what the phono input goes to. Maybe there's a preamp or something that isn't working right.
No, it is, because when I touch this,
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it doesn't have enough gain.
normally that's 3 volts.
Yeah,
There should be like crystal.
I guess we could put a scope on that and see if there's actually a signal coming out of it.
So normally,
Oh yeah, you can't even rub the needle and get anything.
Yep. That's good. Well, you still got your cartridge, right?
Yeah, but it's a totally different kind.
Doesn't matter.
I can get it out.
Let's see what we can do with it.
What we did. So, it seems that the cartridge that came with this is dead. So my friend rigged up one of these guys, and it's playing. I think that's the right speed, right?
No. We can put it on the right speed. It's going to skip. It's going to have that tuck, 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 tuck sound.
So we have sound. So maybe it was just kind of a slow depressing song.
It is.
Alright, let's try going to 78. I know we'll get the funk, but... Bad timing. Oh, there we go.
He said, give me my cane. He said, give me my hat. The time has come.
Don't want to get a copyright strike.
Yeah.
If any of this is still copyrighted. So yeah.
The rabble at the Tower of Babel. They speak at the court and they speak at O'Rourke. And they
Alright.
We need to change that the idler wheel.
Or repair it.
I don't know.
You know, they can put a glob of glue on there and shave it down and fill the dent in.
Could try.
Well, it was getting late, so we wrapped up shortly after that last segment. Since then, I picked up a Sam's Photo Fact for this Webster 256, which gives me part numbers and diagrams and whatnot. So we're going to regroup and do another repair session on this now that we have the full service info. And I went online and I found a source for idler wheels and cartridges, including a dual 3378. Works in a different mechanism though. It has a little flip lever and it flips over one way or the other. So I'll see. I'm kind of inclined to leave the one that's in there because I like the way it works with that mode switch. But now that we have this has instructions for how to set up the adjustments so it picks up and lands in the right spot. And we can get a replacement idler wheel. So be looking for that in the not too distant future. Thanks for watching.